I wanted to begin by asking you guys, obviously, you have a long resume of comedy and acting and writing. Did that sort of inform you in your directorial debut? And what did you maybe learn from working with Alexander Payne on The Descendants that also maybe informed you taking on this task of directing?
Yeah, I think certainly, we both met at the Groundlings Theater and in Los Angeles, and I think, some of the things that you learn early on are character and character development and getting into the specificities of people and their flaws and the bad choices they make. And then, with that, you're also sort of trained in improvising and, the sort of tenets of how to improvise. And so I think those those pieces, have sort of been absorbed in our acting and our writing and our directing in terms of collaborating and listening to each other. And, I think in what we take from Alexander Payne is probably one of the biggest things would be maybe using restraint in, in writing and in shooting in terms of how can we say something without forcing it onto the audience, using maybe a look as opposed to a line, or, I think pulling back as much as possible while still conveying the message, probably.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I understand that there's some real-life experiences that both of you or one of you had that went into the script. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the very first scene of the movie where Trent's character asks Duncan what he is on a scale from 1 to 10, that's verbatim from my own life when my stepfather and I had that exact conversation in a station wagon on our way to Michigan.
That's crushing,
I was 14.
man. I can't believe you put that in the script.
The fact that I haven't started bawling while I'm telling you this is amazing.
3,000 tears were made in writing this.
Literally, my tears typed this. No, it was very cathartic, and obviously we heightened sort of the Trent character. It's not exactly based on my stepfather, but that conversation, and I think we always try to mine not just our lives, but things that feel real and dramatic, because that's where a lot of great comedy is going to come from, and we had that, and then sort of just this love of the eclectic characters that you would find at water parks when we would go to them as kids as well on the East Coast. So those two things sort of were our inspiration.
Yeah, well, and let me ask you about casting Steve Carell as Trent, because, we're used to seeing Steve Carell funny and kind of awkward, and he's a douchebag in this movie. Was it sort of a risk to kind of cast him against character?
Well, I think we knew we wanted to go against type, and I think what was great about Steve is he sort of embraced who Trent was, and as a human being, Steve has just this innate likability, and you really needed that to be part of this character, because while Pam has these blinders on, trying so scared about this of what's happening for her future, she needs to see him as attractive, to see that he's nurturing and affectionate. But I think that what was to Steve's credit is he understood this is a character that is going to be shocking for people because of the way they know Steve. But then as soon as you just let that go and relax, you get to see what a great actor he is. You get to see that all these levels that he will continue to bring, throughout his career. And this character is just a great example of a character who can't change, who is stuck in this cycle. And it's very hard for us sometimes. We want our characters sort of arc. Right. And this is a circle, and I think that just makes it more real, and I think he identified with that.
Well, it was a great performance from him, and great job from you guys. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
First film. Yeah, awesome.
Thanks so much. Nice to meet you.